Okay, here's another intrusive historical thought that I love to think about. And this one involves Juana of Castile. And I'm calling her that out of respect because it's her proper historical name, as opposed to the name that I came to know her by, Juana la Loca, or Anglicanized to Joanna the Mad. I could do a whole other video by itself about Juana of Castile, because she's a very interesting, very complex, controversial historical figure. But for our purposes, just quick down and dirty facts. She lived turn of the 15th to 16th century. And she was the daughter of Ferdinand and Isabella, the famous Spanish monarchs, and the older sister of Catherine of Aragon, Henry VIII's first ill-fated wife, right? So, Spanish princess, Spanish infanta, and she was married at 16 to Archduke Philip of Burgundy, Philip IV, Philip the Fair. As far as political marriages go, theirs started out fairly well because they were two young, hot people, and they were actually quite taken with each other. So marriage starts off well and then quickly goes south. Philip is a notorious adulterer, and Juana, despite him treating her like shit, she loves her husband and she becomes really obsessive and basically earns this reputation for being clingy, excessive, and the mad moniker starts to get attached to her around this time. Not to say that she wasn't justified, because Philip sounds like he was a piece of trash. Juana, unfortunately, after a bunch of historical drama that, again, we can get into later, loses her husband, Philip, when he's only 28 and she's 26. And she's so devastated that she takes to just touring Spain with his decomposing body in tow. And she's still so jealous, she won't let any women near it. She sleeps out on their travel, she sleeps out in fields with it, just her in the coffin. Doesn't want anyone to go near it because, can't have anyone looking at her man. It was also said that she would occasionally lift up the casket and just give him a kiss, just for old time's sake. So that little incident definitely made the mad moniker stick. And again, I want to reiterate that this is a grossly oversimplified version of the story, because I actually have doubts now about her reputation for being mad. I think it was a lot more complicated than that. I mean, this girl was smart. She was accomplished. She was highly intelligent. She was fluent in 5 languages. She had musical acumen. She was an impressive woman. But between, Father Ferdinand, husband Philip, and her son, Charles I, who would become the Holy Roman Emperor, there were a lot of big male personalities in her life, and a lot of males who would have benefited from her, being mentally unfit to rule. Whether mad or not, the royal mourning tour for carting her decomposing husband's body around Spain, that is actually true. Historically documented fact. So Juana of Castile is an example that if you lose your love, death need not necessarily be an impediment.